Touching the afterlife. I died and was taken to hell by a demon. Ivan Tuttle's near-death experience, testimony to hell and heaven.
Just give me a little background on what I saw in heaven on that. I saw all types of things. I saw what happened in the Tower of Babel, and I'll explain that real simple if you don't mind. And do you mind if I talk about the Tower of Babel? Would you give me an answer on that? Thank you, because I need to tell you what I saw because it was very unique. I watched as they were building this, and it was a lot bigger than what scientists are trying to say it is. This building was huge. It was taller than any skyscraper we have today. You have to remember the people that were doing this, these people had a brain and a spirit that worked together, not like what we have today. They all spoke the same language. You know what that language was? It was the language of heaven. Now, I'll explain to you what I mean by that. I'm not talking about speaking in tongues. I'm talking about the language that's in heaven because Lucifer understands that language. Lucifer knows that language. And so does all the people. When God made Adam, Adam had full knowledge. He didn't have to go to school. There was no school. Adam had full knowledge of everything because his brain and spirit work together. And remember when I said when you die, your spirit comes out and your spirit knows everything? Well, your spirit knows everything. I mean, everything. It knows more than Google or Siri or anything. I mean, you just do. And so the men and women back then had a brain and a spirit that worked together. They had inventions and tools way beyond what we could ever imagine today. And they were building this tower. And the people, because they have a mind like God at the time, because they had a brain like that worked with the spirit, the people said, and you can look in the Bible, I think it's in chapter 11 in Genesis, the people said, hey, we better hurry up and make this before God scatters us. Now, how did they know that's what he was going to do? That's kind of strange because shortly thereafter, God comes down and he starts talking to his son, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit and says, hey, we have to go down there and we have to confuse their language in order to, and scatter them throughout the earth. They knew what they had to do. But here's what happened. Let me explain to you what happened. When they came down, it wasn't that they couldn't speak that language anymore. It's that God cut off that section of the brain from working with the spirit anymore. So now we're basically like we are today. No offense, we're kind of dumb compared to what the spirit's like. Trust me. We all, not saying we're a bunch of idiots. We're pretty smart for what we've got and what we got to work with, but our brains just don't work as good as it used to with the spirit.
Is that why Ivan, is that why I've heard we only use a small part of our brain?
Exactly. Because God disconnected it. God disconnected it so that the spirit and the brain don't work together anymore. Yes, it still has electricity in there, but it can't work because the spirit's not connected to it anymore. So when this happened, they scattered because here's what happened. All of a sudden they look and they pick up something and they're like, they don't know what this is. They don't even know. Wow. They're just looking at it. They have no clue what it is. They would just put it back down. They didn't even know what a door handle was or how to open a door. They didn't know what a hammer was. They didn't know anything because there was no language left in them.